Stories of the Infinite Yes is a collection of first-hand accounts made by participants of the Infinite Yes, or interviews with individuals who have been doing this work ongoing. I am so excited to walk back through the memoirs of the Infinite Yes here with all of you. Thank you for joining us. Hi, I'm Sydney, and these are Stories of the Infinite Yes. Today I have with me Antonia, and I'm really glad that she has decided to come here and share her story with all of you. Where would you like to start, Antonia?
Well, first, I want to thank you for inviting me to share my story. It makes me feel really good inside to be able to do that. And as I was thinking about it, it's just really an interesting synchronistic time that we're finally getting together to do this, because it is coming up on an anniversary, which was sort of the whole nexus of my first journey. So my first journey with you, it was 4 years ago, maybe a little more, because I remember it was pretty warm out. And I had just come out of a split in my marriage, a 32-year marriage. And I have some really dear friends of mine in Denver. My best friend lives here. And I'd been coming out to visit and just starting to dabble in a little bit of medicine work. And she had said, well, you have to try this work, and you have to meet Sydney. So I said, yes, I'm coming to do this work. And of course, I was still feeling really raw with the split in my marriage. And I learned later that I started to disassociate. At my job, I couldn't follow conversations. I couldn't understand what was happening in meetings. And I just became so not well mentally. I ended up having to take a leave of absence from work. And it was during that summer of taking leave of absence from work that I ended up here in your house.
Well, I actually just thought I really want to tell our listeners how beautiful of a woman you are. You're a radiantly beautiful woman. And I don't even remember how old you were 4 years ago, because you look about 35 right now.
I was just turned 60. A week before my 60th birthday, I got to discover my husband had been having a 5-year affair.
Okay. I'm sure you're not the only one.
I'm sure I'm not the only one. That did a lot. I was just in such shock. And yeah, I was like, okay, this is like a milestone. Yeah. But it was so interesting because literally within 2 months, I started looking better and better and better after we split, and I ended up losing a bunch of weight. I think that's the divorce thing. And I was like, whoa, this whole new me blossomed up. It was like I was under this invisible weight of deception and unhappiness. And I didn't even realize it because I'd been living in that place for so long, right? So, yeah, so then and now I'm frantically trying to keep myself looking 60.
Well, you're doing a great job. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we'll bring our listeners to the moment. You come upstairs, you take the medicine.
I take the medicine, I go back down, and I'm kind of, waiting to drop in. And I go out in the backyard, and I'm hanging out by the fire, and I start getting more and more uncomfortable. And I just get more and more agitated. And I'm like, and I had done another kind of medicine before, and I knew that was like a signal that something wasn't sitting right in my body. So I'm like, Sid, I need some help. I'm really feeling not good. So you're like, so gently, come over here. And there's this beautiful mat sitting out on the backyard. And you bring me down, and you started working on me somehow. And I know the next thing I know, I'm like in full-blown catharsis, and there's people around me like laying on hands. And I just started going through this process of elimination, and it was really, really intense. And I was just shivering and shaking, and literally felt like I was removing my ex-husband, from my very cellular structure. Like it was that visceral. And that I really realized how much he was in my body. He was in my body. And that night was a process of getting him out of my body. And it took a bunch of different forms. And I I couldn't have done it without you and everyone else who was there. I mean, you had other people to attend to that night too, but it was like I've never experienced anything like that in my life.
Yeah, and you trusted.
Yes, I trusted it. That's one thing I have to say about myself is I tend to just go, I'll just go with it, and trust it. And I had learned that. I had been learning that lesson in medicine work prior. So I guess I was a little bit primed too, so that I recognized immediately that I was uncomfortable and I asked for help. I did not just sit in my chair and get more and more intense till, I'm like, nope, let's just do this right now. So that I feel like, okay, that was good. And that, yeah, this bringing together of a community and having these people around me who I don't even know who they all were at times, and they all were so good. And it was like my little angels kept coming in and helping me doing different things, which was, of course, wonderful. I mean, that's what I love about these journeys is that even if you're in the bathroom puking, someone's always in there sitting there talking to you while you're puking about something. And it's always the right thing to talk about. It really helps, I love that. So you never really feel like you're in it alone, unless you want to be, right? Like if you want to go sit by yourself, whatever, you can. But that sense of community and being held by others is like, I experienced that so much that night. And it was so different because, the journeys I'd done before, the medicine work, it's always like, lay down, put your iPad on, then you go into this thing, whether it's, I don't know if it's okay to say Aya or mushrooms or whatever, you're in your own thing, or 5-MeO, you're completely, it's an insular experience, right? But this is all done in community. So there's this really beautiful sense of being supported and held, and it's a relief in a way because you get to be validated, I guess, by other people who are like saying it's okay. You're not just going through it going, oh, I'm and there's beauty in doing it on your own, but there's just so much beauty in doing it with other people. So, yeah. Good. Oh, good.
Well, I just really can't thank you enough for coming and sharing your story with people. I know that there are people out there who might hear this and feel safe to try something that can really help them.
I hope so. Don't be afraid. Only good comes of it. This is good. It's all good.
Thank you so much, Antonia.